What's going on, fam? Welcome to the Get the Bag podcast, episode 15. I can't even keep track anymore.
Yes.
I'm your
Yes.
host, Gladia Castro. Got my co host, Tim Park.
Hey
What's
fam,
going
what's
on?
going on?
Yeah, we have a
I
really great episode. Super excited for this one today. But always, as I always mention, just a quick reminder it's a live show. So please post your questions that you have for our guest in the chat. And don't forget, show some love, subscribe to our channel.
oh,
Set your
there you
reminders
go.
always helps with YouTube's algorithms.
There you
Um,
go.
there you go. But today's episode, creating a healthy lifestyle for others. We have a very special guest. I actually met Taryn. I bought your name on Instagram, so I'm gonna make sure I get this right. But I met her through Instagram. Fell in love with her content. Love what she represents and is into health. I'm big into physical activity. So Taryn's actually or Taryn, I should say, is an online fitness and wellness coach who
hmm
specializes in helping other people drop body fat, increase muscle mass. Her passion is actually helping people in the LGBTQ plus communities get fit,
mm,
which is is near and dear to my heart as well. Not to mention, she's also a lover of Goku anime. Man, I can't even pronounce
Nice.
anything
I
today.
love
Let's
it.
welcome Taryn Durant to the Get the Bag podcast. What is up?
What's up? What's up? Heavy on the
Hey, what's
Goku. I'm
up?
so happy you mentioned that. That's
Yeah, man.
perfect. Yes,
Yeah,
anime Goku
people
is
are
just
really
amazing.
into that. I was slightly when I was younger, but
Yeah.
I
Yeah, me
never like
too.
kept it up.
Oh man, you got to get back into it. It's classic. It's timeless. It'll never die out for me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I hear people like actually utilize it for like motivation, like in terms of like their
That's
business too, and like you know
hmm
yeah.
entrepreneurship.
I definitely have like Goku. You mean Dragon Ball Z specifically?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So it's crazy because Dragon Ball Z, I think, was my first representation of like what I want to do, which is
Mm,
train and just be super strong and be crazy lean and just muscular. You know what I mean?
mm,
So
hmm
when I was a kid, 7, 8, like seeing this, I was like, man, this is like amazing. Like this is what I want my body to look like. You know what I mean?
mm.
Maybe not as big, but like this is what I want. I want to train for a living. I want to, you know what I mean? So it really like inspired me actually to like set physique goals and like have an inspiration that way. So yeah, Goku's the guy. Dragon Ball Z
Goku's
is it.
the goat.
Yeah, he is for real.
There you go.
Crazy.
That's dope.
Love it. Now, you're kind of our first like, well, no, we did have a crypto guest, but you're,
hmm
going along the side of like non-real estate.
hmm
But tell us a little bit about yourself because, maybe a lot of people our viewers or listeners maybe haven't heard about you.
Yeah. So I'm Taryn, 28. I live in Maryland, right? I grew up in. So funny. I was just talking to Tim about this a little earlier, but grew up an athlete, played basketball in college, and during that time, I was studying psychology, but I had like a burning passion for training, and I couldn't really
mm
understand it. Like I loved the weight room, I loved agility practices, I loved like that kind of stuff. Like it wasn't really the
Mm,
basketball part that lit me up. It was like the preparation for the basketball part that lit me up, right? So I just
mm,
loved, hanging out around my trainers and like learning from them and asking them about form and all that good stuff. And I thought, I was going to be a therapist for the rest of my life. So after undergrad, I went to Fordham. I went on to get my master's at Towson. So I came back to Maryland and studied counseling psych and got my master's. I practiced for about 3 years, which was great, but like it didn't, like I said, it didn't light me up. You know what I mean? It wasn't like that burning, sorry, excuse me, it wasn't like that burning passion, that burning desire. You know what I'm saying? To like wake up every single day and, oh, I can't wait to do therapy. It wasn't like
right.
mm
that, but I felt that with training. So during that time, just because lifestyle changes and sitting behind a desk as opposed to playing basketball, and I was
Right.
eating whatever I wanted. I gained a lot of weight. You know what I mean? I gained like
Yeah.
50 pounds in a couple months, and that kind of really messed with my body image. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm,
and always wanting a very flat and muscular physique and more masculine physique. And so I saw myself getting more curvy. I wear men's clothes, so I couldn't fit the clothes the way I,
Mhm.
wanted to and
We've been
envisioned.
there.
Yeah. So that really, really like messed with me for a little bit. You guys didn't ask for all this info, but I'm gonna put it out there.
No, it's good.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. So started dabbling with like binders. I got my first binder. And I think that was a very pivotal moment for me because as soon as I put it on, I started like busting out into tears.
Mhm.
My mom saw me. I hugged her, cried in her arms. It was
Oh,
beautiful. But I saw the image of what I could be and what I wanted. And I think from that point, I decided, okay, like I can achieve this myself. Like for me, I don't want to wear a binder, every day. I want to be able to create the physique and just have like the armor, you know what I mean? Myself be
Mhm.
like
yeah.
that armor for me and that protection. So that's when I started training, started focusing on my nutrition, started learning, joined my team, and connected with other people who were on their fitness journeys and the community, and started weight training super heavy, and just started building. You know what I mean? And I've been on my journey now for 4 years and just continuously having more fun every single day. So that's really like in a nutshell me. You know?
That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah,
I
I
love
love it.
that.
I've
yeah.
totally been there. I was kind of in a similar situation too. I was an athlete as well growing up and played ball as well.
Hmm.
Um, I'm in my age myself. I'm in my 30s, but I went through
Looking
a
good.
period. I went through a period where like I literally was stagnant. Like I was commuting like 5 hours a day, so I was sitting a lot.
What?
I had a desk job, so I didn't really have time to take care of myself, and
Hmm.
I think I gained also like around the lines of 30 to 40 pounds. And now it's taken me some time because I've done it the right way. Because, there's a lot of times people do fad
Yeah,
diets.
Mhm.
But for me, I was like, let me just do it organically. Right. So it's
yeah,
like just focusing on my nutrition first or just focusing on just moving. Cause I think that's always
Mhm.
a big thing. Just learn to move again. Cause my body was used to like working out all the time. And when I stopped that, like it's kind of like I shocked my body. So
hmm,
I've been there where I've like cried to my wife, like I was like, "Oh,
mm,
this doesn't fit me anymore," or like
yeah,
it's this is like years ago, and it also kind of is also like your mentality. It starts with that too. So, I
yeah.
think it's awesome that you shared that.
Yeah, a 5-hour commute, Jesus, I don't know how
Oh
you
my
do
God,
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
there and back.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
it was crazy. It's
Yeah,
crazy. It's Bay Area living,
Yeah,
yeah,
so
that's
man.
crazy. Yeah, it was the same kind of thing with me. It was, as an athlete, you're working out all the time and then you get into the workforce and I was always a scrawny kid when I was in high school, and even though I played ball, we didn't lift weights back then.
Mhm,
It wasn't a concentration, in that day and age. So when I got to college, I bulked up really quickly. Like I got stretch marks from bulking up so quickly because they were heavily into weightlifting and conditioning and everything. So,
mhm,
um, as I'm getting older now, like I've always I didn't really fluctuate in my weight, but as I'm getting older now, I'm seeing that fluctuation a lot more, and a lot has to do with my diet and stuff like that too. So
yeah,
that's what I'm realizing, as I get older as well too, because that youth is you bounce back pretty easily, and you
yeah.
can eat junk food or whatever the case may be, but that's kind of the thing. So, I wanted to ask you is that like, from your own journey of getting into fitness and
Mhm,
you're, changing physically, what was the point where you thought you wanted to transfer that to like helping other people? Like, what was that
yeah,
transition like for you?
yeah. Um, maybe similar to you guys. Before this journey that I've been on for 4 years, this is the healthiest I think journey I've been on. I've always yo-yoed with my weight, even in college playing basketball. I was either, hey Taryn, we got to get you together, or I was, right on point. I was always that, and so this has been my most successful stint. And I think it's
Mm,
because, like Tim, like what you said, like I'm focusing on nutrition, I'm focusing on, even like moving my body in a healthier way, and it's taking a longer time, but it's worth it because you have more sustainable change, right? So before this journey, I would do a lot of things that weren't the healthiest. Now looking back on it, I did the whole, okay, let's cut out carbs. Let's do fruit and water fasting. Let's, eat like nothing, all salads and, you know what I mean? Just really undernourishing myself, thinking that that was healthy, or, let's do an excess of cardio every single day, 2 to 3 hours on the treadmill, with layers on of sweats and multiple pants to try and dehydrate myself into weight loss, essentially, is what I was trying to do. At that time, I thought it was healthy, though, because I think a lot of people think, there's a lot of misinformation out there, like, oh, this is healthy and this is what other people do. And, this is how you do it, cut carbs. I think that's one of the most popular ones that people do. So I did all that, right? And I remember how miserable it was and how low energy I had. And maybe the scale went down in numbers, right? But the scale isn't a good indication of fitness journey success anyway, right? So people shouldn't rely on the scale ever. But I once I got on a healthy journey, I started realizing, man, like, I feel lucky and fortunate to be on this journey, but there's so many people still back where I used to be. So I think that's kind of my driving force and my motivation, to really speak to those kind of people and say, hey, listen, you don't have to do these yo-yo diets for years. Like, there's a healthier way. There's a way that you can actually, drop the body fat, put on muscle, get more energy, change your cholesterol levels in a healthy way, and it's sustainable for your life. Because I think a lot of people, similar to me, they lose 10 pounds and then they gain 20 pounds, and it's just a yearly, lifelong struggle for people, and it's frustrating. So I think, just documenting my journey, I started documenting my journey on month 1 on Instagram is my main platform. That's basically all I use. I've been documenting there for 4 years. And I just saw, the tribe, of people in the LGBTQ community who really related to my content, and, were making similar mistakes that I had made, and I was able to then help them. And I think that, really ignited a spark. So I think honestly, it's from my personal experience of, messing up, for years, and then having this healthy journey and how much better I feel, and just trying to teach other people how to do the same. I think is really the goal that I have daily. Yeah.
I love
Yeah, I
that.
love that.
I think that's really important, is like the knowledge, is like there's so much garbage out there, especially on
Mm-hmm.
social media. People getting paid to just say, "Hey, you should take this and it'll make you skinny in 3 days,"
Yeah.
or just ridiculous things. I mean, even going back, right? Like back in the day, there used to be infomercials of the same thing. It's kind of,
Mm-hmm.
then it's moved to whether it's TV shows, lose weight in 60 days or doing
Yeah.
this, and it's really extreme diets that's just not attainable afterwards. Like, you
Mm-hmm.
can't restrict your body to that extent and then expect to continue, because naturally if you cut carbs and then it's like, all right, your diet, it's done. Like, it's nothing should be considered a diet.
Yeah.
And it's a lifestyle change. So I love that you kind of found a need there, because I think it is very much needed. And also kind of like maybe touching on your personal life of like touching with representing like LGBTQ plus communities, because
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of in the same boat myself of like, my niche is real estate, and I'm like, that whole industry is not only like male driven, or like male dominant, but it's heteronormative too, where it's
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean? Like, and maybe it's the same too in the fitness industry, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm almost seeing like there's a need there for, like, why not help people make money, or, make a difference and change their lives? But maybe sometimes they're intimidated for joining these programs that maybe they don't feel comfortable with.
Yeah.
So I think it's great um, that you found the importance of representing those groups that are usually not prioritized, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Of course. Yeah. And I think in our community too, I think a lot of people, oh, it's so funny. I was talking about this over dinner yesterday, but I think a lot of people try to starve themselves into certain physiques
Mm,
or overeat themselves into certain physiques. Just speaking to the mask. Sorry, my dog is like whining. It's distracting me. So I am a mask presenting woman, right? And I
right.
think in that community, there is a huge need for learning how to, let's say, put on muscle or cut body fat in a healthy way. You know what I mean? Because I think a lot of people struggle with learning how to even do that. And I think that's important, to figure out within our communities too. Yeah. Yeah. So I
Mm.
agree. I definitely, yeah, I hear you.
Yeah. And then I think like as an athlete, you were trained like a certain way, right? And then when you're get out of that profession or get out of that sport, you continue to train that way. Like
Mm-hmm.
you don't know any better, right? So for me, like I was, as I got older, I got a personal trainer, and then I had to
Mm-hmm.
relearn a lot of the things that I was doing wrong, because my
Mm.
body is totally different. We were training for football, right?
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't training for, trying to get in shape and be
Stay in
healthy.
shape.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So there's a difference there. And I think at least athletes sometimes are stubborn in that way, that they think
Mm-hmm.
they know it all because they're an athlete and they trained to be an athlete. But
Yeah.
once you get out of that sport, it's totally different. Your body
Yeah.
changes, and your diet changes and all of that.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree with that.
Yeah, we can't, do the same workouts we used to. At
Mm-hmm.
least the recovery may be a little bit longer, doing those double days too, at times,
Mm-hmm.
preseason. But how is your, so tell us about your business, or, kind of your setup with your clients. Like what does
Sure.
that look like? So, yeah, kind of
Sure.
show.
So I incorporate Herbalife nutrition into my programs and myself, right? So healthy supplementation is important, especially for people who don't know how to eat, or have specific goals where maybe protein requirements or vitamin requirements or creatine requirements are higher for them depending on their goals and their current physique and what they're trying to achieve. So that's how I help my clients in one way, right? So supplementation, but also I do one-on-one coaching. So with all my clients who want it, my coaching is completely free. I don't double charge for that. So I
Mm,
work with people like very hands on. I talk to my clients almost on a daily basis. I help them
Mm,
through their programming. I help them through form, answering any questions that they have. Also really teach them how to make it and view it like a journey as opposed to a destination.
mm,
And really demonstrating to people how you can have fun on a journey. On top of that, I create workout plans, meal plans, and there's also a community. So I mentioned the community earlier, but there's a huge, well, not huge, but there is a group chat. There's a huge group chat full of just motivation, and people get to link up with people in their hometown and, work out together or just become
mm,
friends. It's really like a family community, because I think, when you're trying to do a fitness journey by yourself, it's very, it can be very scary and it can be very daunting.
mhm,
And it's easy to quit because you have no accountability just other than you. So it's really cool when you get to hold hands with people and like do it together, and get results together. So whenever, like, for example, I do 30-day challenges, right? And 21-day challenges. Whenever I'm having clients during those challenges, I'm doing the challenge too. I'm following the same meal plan. I'm working
mm,
out with them. I have goals too. And we just literally do the journey and the challenge together. So month to month, I do the same challenges that my clients do. And that's how month to month I'm trying to always increase and um, get better with my own results. You know?
mm. What
Yeah.
the question I had too is that, like, during the pandemic, there was a lot of, not working out, or, that time frame. How did that affect your business, and what what have you, I guess, learned from that time,
Yeah.
with the pandemic? So
Yeah. So during that time, COVID got me too, right?
right.
Where I gained, I think, like 20 pounds,
Mm-hmm.
just because stuck in the house, no gym, eating, the drinking, you know what I mean? Like,
mhm,
having
Yeah,
beer and
yeah.
watching TV, right? It kind of like just, turned into a habit. So I lost my results, and
Mm,
it was a very humbling experience. I'm so happy it happened because, I got to relive what it felt like to like start from day one. And I did that with my clients. And I feel like I learned so many lessons during that time that I now still apply, So during COVID, actually, business went up, because
mm,
people were in the house. People
Right.
want to still work their bodies and move their bodies. People want to maintain health. Also, people are bored. There's nothing else to do. So why not, especially since they're going to be on social media anywhere. They're probably going to see me. Like I said, I run my business 100% off Instagram. So, it actually boomed and blossomed during that time. And it was, yeah, we had fun. I mean, of course, my business changed a little bit, so I designed more at home workouts. I was
Mm.
doing at home workouts myself, so I had to figure it out myself so that I can create programs for at home workouts specifically. And we made it work. We did some Zoom, sometimes group workouts to help people stay, feel like a part of the community still. Um, yeah, so we did all that.
That's dope. I
Yeah.
love that. Because
Yeah,
I
it's
think
all
the fitness,
adapting.
yeah, totally. I think the fitness industry as a whole kind of boomed during the pandemic too, right? So, there
Right.
was a lot of, even like Peloton took off at that
Oh,
time, and
yes.
yeah, so like
Not
all
not
these
so hot
stay-at-home
anymore.
fitness.
Their
No, no,
stocks, I
not at
guess,
all.
went down.
They
Oh,
dropped
really? It
off.
has?
So, yeah,
Yeah, because I
yeah.
think people
So,
are going back to
The
the gym, right?
gyms.
Things are opened
Yeah.
up, so their stock just plummeted
Oh,
down.
man.
But I would still get a Peloton. I kind of like. I also kind of it was the same kind of situation for me. I mean, I lived in an apartment at the time, so I was just going to the apartment gym, or I also did like Muay Thai. I was like big into that because it's
Ooh,
such a good workout
how
and
nice.
it's so fun
cool.
to punch shit. Like,
Yeah, it is.
yeah. And so once COVID kind of happened, obviously that shut down. So I had to
Hmm.
be creative. So I got like the Beachbody app, which is a really great app to that has a ton of workouts. I grew up doing the Shanti workouts, the
Oh,
insanity.
yeah.
That was my thing
That's
because
my
I
boy.
never had that. Yeah, I know. I love, especially now, like seeing, him be himself and
Yeah.
everything. But
Can you guys see this?
um,
I'm sorry. This is
Yeah.
cool.
yeah, yeah,
Oh,
Hmm.
that's so cool.
yeah. Yeah, shout out. But I mean, yeah, those home workouts were great. And
Yeah.
so I kind of picked that back up again and like doing that at home. And I'm sure my downstairs neighbors hated me because I was like literally like jumping up and down. But I think I've kind of liked working out at home and having my own little setup. Now I moved to like
Yeah.
a house and I have a garage. So I actually bought a Muay Thai banana, I think they call it banana bag. So
What?
I kind of do
She's
some
legit.
work.
So,
That's so
I
cool.
mean, I need to work on my
come on.
flexibility, but I just love, if I'm having a hard day, just go downstairs and
I
just
love it.
punch the bag.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Congrats on
just,
your home as well.
yeah, yeah. Instead of get the bag, punch the bag.
Yeah, there you
So,
go. Also, shout out to Sean T for, representing. I
yeah,
know he came
I've been
out
with him
later, but
since
like,
with him since 2009, and I had no
yeah.
idea. And when he came out, I was like, "Holy
I feel like I,
smokes,
I could tell
yes!"
he was like into the butt pumps. Like he was really, you
Right.
could tell a little bit. You know what I mean?
Well, now looking
Um,
back, like doing the workouts, I'm like,
yeah,
"Oh, bro, this he's totally
yeah,
hitting." Like, with the guy workouts, he'd be like, "Yeah, great job,"
uh
like
huh,
touching the abs, and yeah,
he was out there. But that's so
yeah.
cool. I just got into boxing more seriously, and then Brazilian Jiu Jitsu.
Mm.
I heard that.
Which has been a lot of fun. Yeah, so much fun. So I definitely, I
Yeah,
definitely relate to G on that. Yeah,
that's dope.
yeah.
Love it.
I think I can't believe you got the whole setup, G. That's pretty dope in the garage.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
we gotta
just a
see
bag.
pictures.
Yeah, no, I think I may have a video, but I may need to do a little IG reel with my setup. But
Yeah, crush
I
it.
I need to be more consistent. For me, it's easier just pop on the iPad and just do a workout
Hmm.
than having
Hmm.
to, it's been a little bit cold. So I'm a little wimp trying to like work out outside, but it's great. Whenever I get done like with the workout, I just love it. But my goal is eventually to do go back to a gym and do it because I like training with like you said, having a community, because that's
Yeah.
something I did miss about going to a more intimate gym, a local gym that had like Muay Thai um and it was just cool to do workouts with like either other ladies or just other people, and let's
Hmm.
sweat together kind of thing. There's something about that where it's
Yeah.
like, hey, yeah,
Yeah, there is.
we're struggling together.
Hmm.
Right, right.
Camaraderie right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
think we have a little question here for us. I
I
think
have some
Cena. What's
long
up, Cena?
nails.
I
What's
know,
up,
right?
Tina?
How can I make that work? Man, how long? No, I mean, I don't have nails. I cut mine, but I've seen people, it depends. If it's acrylics, I feel like that could be tough, you know. I'm not sure though, but I'm sure people make it work. I mean, people play basketball with long nails. People do a lot of
I've
stuff
seen
with
it
long nails.
too.
Yeah, I've seen
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
I mean, maybe bag work, maybe, but if you just do Muay Thai where you're just doing kicks, maybe that's one
Mm,
thing. Well, that's where it is helpful because in some cases, when I did the Muay Thai class, we wouldn't, maybe in some workouts or sessions, we wouldn't focus much on the arms and doing bag work. It was more on like the movement. So, like the hip work,
mm-hmm.
hitting the bag, kicking the bag. So, either I mean, I wouldn't suggest cutting your nails necessarily, but I'm sure there's different ways you can do it. Whether you just do wraps and just just be careful
Yeah.
when you
Maybe
hit
a
the
coach
bag.
can help you too. Maybe if you go to a
Yeah,
class, they'll be like, okay, I've dealt with this before. Here, this is what we can do.
Mm.
right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, I have short nails too. My sorry, Cena. Yeah.
That's
Um.
funny.
So, what kind of things keep you motivated? Like, how do you hold yourself accountable? Like, I mean, it sounds like you have your community, your group.
Yes.
Um, but what sort of things when like when you wake up and I mean, I'm sure it happens to all of us. You're like, I don't want to work out, or I
Oh
don't feel
my
like
God,
doing
yeah.
this.
Jesus. Like every day. Like every day. Every single day. Um, yeah, so I have so many responses, not to be long-winded, but I have so many responses to this. Well, first, yes, my community is incredible. I would not be where I am without my program, without my team, to be honest. I give them all the credit. You know, the community support, the group chats, like the workouts, the meal plan, everything, making it super simple. I would not be here, right? So that's number one. I would say find a community. If you can find a community, I think that would help. And then two, like I think accepting and understanding that motivation is hardly ever going to be there, and you have to accept that, and you have to understand that you have to develop habits and discipline. That's going to then turn into a lifestyle, and that's when you turn
Mm.
your habits and your discipline into a lifestyle. That's when you're kind of golden, because now it's like it's just a part of you. You know, like for example, today I don't really feel like working out, but it's just a part of my life. You know what I'm saying? It's just what I
Mm,
do, and I feel better when I do it, and I feel better after I do it. But in the beginning, you know, when you're first establishing any type of habit, it's going to take time. It's going to be like, shit, you know, you have to fight through it. You know, the day that you don't feel like doing it, you got to do it even more so, because then you start developing that habit and that skill. And I think everything in life is a skill. That's how I
mm,
view
Mhm.
everything, right? So like you can be skillful in discipline, or you can lack the skill and discipline. Everything is just what are you putting your practice into? You know what I'm saying? Um, so first I think, like I said, accepting that it's going to be hard, accepting that you're not always going to want to do it, and then doing it regardless. And something that would a tip that I've used in my life, especially when I was first getting started, is and it's going to be kind of like maybe funny, but I tell some of my clients this too, especially people who have a lot to, let's say someone needs to lose 100 pounds, right? That's not something that you can do in a month, right? That's something that you do month to month, maybe year to year, whatever it is, right? And what I kind of show them is like, okay, like treat your journey as if like this is a movie. You know what I mean? That's what I had to do too.
Mm.
Because when I first got started, it was hard for me to run. It was hard for me to walk upstairs. It was hard for me to do a lot of stuff. So I had to treat it as if like, okay, this is just I'm in a Rocky film. Like,
Mhm.
that's how I legit felt. Like, okay, I'm on my Rocky shit, Because when you start thinking about yourself as a movie, like things become less permanent, right? Because if you go to a movie theater, right? If you go to a movie, like there's always some kind of drama. You don't go to a movie to see something perfect and pristine and everything's just
right.
fucking
There's
roses and
plots.
yeah,
Mhm. Yeah.
nothing, everything's
Twists,
not
all that.
beautiful and
Yeah.
roses, right? In a movie,
Right.
like there's always like somebody dies, something happens, there's an injury, there's some tragedy, right? And if you start thinking about your life like that, and know that there's always going to be like an up, you know what I'm saying? Your movie's just not
Hmm.
done. I think it gives people a lot more compassion to themselves too, and it shows people, okay, I can change this. I'm just, you're the main character of your own movie. You get to determine what you want to do with it. So, when it was hard for
Love
me
that.
working out, sometimes I would literally visualize, okay, there's a camera right here. I'm in my Rocky. I'm about to do this workout. They're documenting it. Boom, boom. And then it helped me. And I know it's helped a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people as well to start thinking about it that way. Because I think it shows people that you can change your life, and just like
Mm-hmm.
how in any movie you can change your life. Yeah,
Right.
I
yeah,
love that.
That's
I lo-
yeah, that's cool.
yeah, I like how I mean it's life, right? It's going to go up and down.
hmm
So you're going to, it's not always going to be rosy. And I think we talk about this too in like our real estate business. People get if something goes not as expected, it's
Mm-hmm.
easily to just quit. So many
yeah,
people have quit. I think the statistics is like 90% of business
Oof.
owners quit,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah,
or
in the
something like
first
that.
year. Yeah.
Yeah, in the first year, and then it gets even lower, or higher, I think, after like 5 years. But it's
hmm
Mm-hmm.
because you have to have that grit. You have to expect like, hey, I'm going to go through the tough times. I'm going to embrace them, but I'm also
yeah,
going to enjoy the good times and know it's not going to last. But just keep pushing, keep pushing.
yeah. That resiliency is humongous. Yeah, and dealing with
Yeah.
setbacks, and not trying to be perfect, because no fitness journey is perfect. Like you're
Mm,
gonna fuck up, and it's okay. Just get back
right,
Mm-hmm.
on it. Just
right.
do
Yeah.
it better, and keep getting better a little bit, just a little bit better every single day. It amounts to so much change over a year or a couple months. You know?
Right, right. And I think like we talk about this a lot is the mindset, right? And like in our
hmm
business it's huge. I'm sure in your industry it's huge too because people tend to, like G says, give up a little bit because they're not seeing the instant results because nowadays it's instant gratification, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So and especially if they need to lose a lot a lot of weight, they kind of get discouraged. So how do
hmm
you keep your clients like in the right mindset and keep them motivated to
Yeah.
achieve their goals?
Yeah. That's a good question. So I think two things, right? So like, or maybe three things. Me showing it first, right? I have to
Hmm.
be a self leader in order to lead other people, right? So like showing people how to have compassion for yourself, or if you do, like on my fitness journey, I document when I fuck up, and I'm like, oh man, here I was recently. Here I was in October. Here I am in February, and just showing people what's possible and that it's okay to have speed bumps, right?
Mm.
So I think that's number one. Number two, I think I like to try and teach my clients how to develop a 1% mindset, right? So like, let's say someone is like, man, I don't feel like working out, right? If you just get to the gym and you do something, it's better than doing nothing. It's better than just sitting on the couch and not doing it, right? So
Yeah.
just
Mm,
having, again, that compassion and knowledge that a little bit is better than nothing, and it's going to inch you towards the right direction, right? Um, and I think number three, like personal development is huge. So I do PD like crazy. Every single day I'm reading a book, I'm doing an audiobook, I'm listening to empowering messages, I'm learning and growing as a person. And when I see sometimes in my clients who need that extra, thing, I think personal development is great for everybody, but I'll send them videos. Hey, I thought about you, here, watch this. This makes, or read this book, or da da da. You know what I'm saying? Because I think just
Mm.
like anything in life, especially in fitness too, if we're strengthening your mind, everything around you is going to get more solid. You know what I'm
mm,
saying? You're going to start thinking about life differently. You're going to start thinking about your fitness journey differently. You're going to start seeing things differently because you're different, you know? So I think
right.
that's huge too, because fitness journeys are more mental than anything.
Mm. Yeah, it is.
And yeah, so helping people in that regard, yeah.
I
It's
love
almost
that.
like you're a life coach too, because you're
Yeah.
trying to get into their mindset of,
Yeah.
motivating them to achieve the goal in their
Yeah.
fitness journey.
And I think my background in mental health plays a lot in
Mm.
me doing coaching. A lot of it is like kind of therapy sessions a little bit,
I bet.
not formally, obviously. But yeah, yeah, working with people with that too.
Yeah, I love that. Because I think we try to complicate things as human beings. Like things don't have to be so complicated. Sometimes they do need a coach, but really, you're just kind of guiding them, like, and keeping things simple, right? Keeping
hmm
things elementary. Because if people are like, oh, I want to lose weight, just move, go on a walk, like do that at least consistently. Start gradually, like you said, baby steps. Like do 10,000 steps every day, or however much you can, and preparing mentally. So one thing I've read too is like, all right, if you want to make sure you get to the gym, have your clothes laid out, have your
Yeah.
workout clothes laid out next to your bed. So when you wake up, automatically you have to put on your clothes. And get to the gym, because it's just that one instant in the morning where you're like, should I get up? It's just as long as you get up and then start putting on your clothes, like you're locked
Yeah.
in. So I love that, and I think mentality in general. I mean, I'm seeing a very consistent theme, like whether it's a fitness or or anything, no matter what business you're running, it all starts here, and like and it starts with personal development. So I'm glad you kind of mentioned that, because I think it's important, whatever craft you're in, whatever industry, you can't just stay with the same information, because you owe it to your clients, right? Like, I need
Yep.
to improve myself. I need to
Yeah.
provide them with all the insights that's needed. So I love that, where you're constantly growing
Yeah.
yourself to help grow
Oh yeah.
your clients.
1000%. Yeah. Yeah.
How do you deal with like burnouts, or like, how do you,
Mm.
because I'm sure it's a lot sometimes.
I used to. My first year in business, I used to, because I had no boundaries. So like some clients would call me at 2 a.m. and I felt, obligated to pick up, oh, they need me, let me pick up, or I have a client who's constantly hitting me up, and now I'm stopping what I'm doing and I'm going because they need me, so there was a bit of burnout, very early on. Um, but I realized to develop systems is huge. So I use an app called Wordboard. So a lot of, let's say, prompts, how to make a proper balanced meal. I save it to Wordboard. I don't know if you guys know Wordboard, but it
No,
saves a
never
lot of
heard.
time. I'm able to just send programs. I don't have to, let me search for the program. I learned systems to make everything cleaner and quicker in my business. Also, I set boundaries. You know what I mean? So my clients know, do not call me at 2 a.m. because I'm not going to pick up, and then we're going to talk about in the morning about how you cannot call me at 2 a.m. Right. So, you know what I mean? They know, they expect, okay, Taryn's going to answer me back, obviously within like 8 hours, unless it's overnight, then it's, maybe 10, 12 hours. I'm always going to get back to you. And sometimes I do have anxious clients, which I get. I'm an anxious person too. So sometimes those clients, hey, maybe we get on the call and I talk to them about how, I'm always here for you, but these are kind of the boundaries. And that really helps me, it really helps me not burn out, right? Because like I said, my first year in the business, I was just running with my head cut off and just felt so burnt out all the time. Now I don't really feel burnout. I mean, I love what I do. But I also have more life balance, so like I'm able
That's
to,
good.
okay, yeah, I'm able to, okay, on Sundays, I'm going to go to a park or Sunday or whatever. I'm going to watch a little episode of a TV show midday to relax. You know what I'm saying? I really take care of myself more. So I haven't really had burnout in a really long time. Yeah, which feels good.
That's nice.
That's
I may need I'm still figuring that out myself. Well, I think for
Yeah.
me, it's, balancing a 9 to 5 in a business. But I think you're right. It's all in the systems that you set up, whether
Yeah.
it's a system with myself and like how time block and, whatever the case may be. But I mean, it happens to all of us. I think it's just constantly learning and setting those boundaries, like you said. I think Tim and I have also talked about, like, well, if a seller is calling us at 10 p.m.,
I
are you
know,
picking
right?
up? Tim may
Right.
pick it up. I may pick it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just it's a tough, like you said, it's a tough balance. It's
It
a
is.
tough decision to make, where it's
Yeah.
like, am I doing it for money? Like, is that kind of my motivator to pick up, or and then I'm, I don't know the effects of it. So I think that's really important that you kind of learned from your first year, because a lot of
Yeah.
people, it takes a while. Systems are always last in terms of like they're setting up their business, because they think they have to do it all. Um, so I don't know if you have like assistants, or if that's kind of your goal eventually, or you're just going to be solo at some, for however long.
Yeah.
Learning to delegate is really tough
Yes.
sometimes.
Learning to delegate is huge. So within Herbalife, right? So I'm able to help people not only get results, but I also am able to help people grow their businesses too, and teach them how to also earn an extra income for themselves, or helping other people make a bigger impact. And that's something I love about Herbalife. Like, how I view it is kind of like the Justice League. Like, I really like cartoons, so I view it like that, right? And it's just a band of coaches like helping a lot of people change their lives, which is amazing, right? So I have help. I have team members who maybe someone's better at doing Canva, and they're in charge of creating the Canva stuff for making the meal plans look nice and da da da. Maybe someone's better at, you know, teaching, I don't know, how to navigate sites or something like that. And that's what they're head, and then they create screen recordings and they share it with the team. So it's amazing, like growing a team, and everyone has like a role. And then when we come together, it's like fucking phenomenal. And so that really, really helps. If that answers your question, I think it is.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But in the next 2 years, this first part, the next 2 years, I want to have assistants, like legit assistants, like people who maybe follow me around and like create content for me. Yeah, that's what I plan on having. That a videographer first, I think, would be number one.
Right. And that kind of, I think that it goes into my next question, like, where do you see your business going in the future? Like, I think you kind of touched on that, but like maybe a little bit further down, like 3 to 5 years, or are you going to start a gym, or what's your aspirations for your business? So.
Yeah, okay, that's cool. So Herbalife is network marketing, right? So what's great about it is I can help a lot of people succeed, and that's how we all grow, which is incredible. So in the next 3 to 5 years, the next 2 years, I'll be a president's team member, which is the top 1% in the company. From there, I definitely do want to, that's actually one of my goals. I want to have a gym with a nutrition club attached to it. So basically people are able to have their post-workout, their pre-workout, just everything, energy supplements, hydration supplements, whatever. And then connect it to a gym, and then have all my team members, all my clients, be able to come into that gym. That would be a dream, of mine in the next 3 to 5 years. So
you're gonna do it.
Yeah.
I was saying it right here on the podcast.
Right, I know.
I'm gonna do it. Yeah, it's gonna happen.
There we go.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. I just don't know where it's gonna be, but it's gonna happen. Yeah, for sure. And that that just feels like love to me. Like I can just be in that gym all day and just hug on people, love on people, and just see people thrive. Is really my passion.
I love that. I think that would be cool. I don't know many, like, if you want to do a theme of like, especially, we've been talking about the LGBTQ plus communities, but having like a go-to gym, like, hey, Taryn's gym, has this and that. So I think that would be really cool to have. But one of my questions was like, if somebody's interested in like Herbalife, if they want to start, like, what does that process look like?
Yeah. So first, they can hit me up on Instagram or fill out my form in my bio, my job form, my wellness program, I think it's titled. And I will talk to them about their goals. I always DM people, so I talk to people like every single day. I'm answering my messages, and go through your goals, maybe assess your body fat percentage depending on the goals that you have. I share my story with people as well. I also shared other team member stories as well. Just so people, see that, the fruits of one's labor does not go to waste. I think people are, so conditioned to not get results on fitness journeys just because maybe they're missing one or two things and they don't know how to do it. And then I share, obviously everything that entails in my program, everything that is free features as well. And then we get started, whatever healthy supplements that they may need to incorporate into their nutrition plan, teaching them about whole foods, teaching them how to move their body more. So we go like that. So I don't do face-to-face. That's not my passion right now. So I'm 100% online. So I'm able to help clients in different states, different countries, different places around the world, and create plans and be in constant communication with them. And yeah, so just hit me up on my Instagram, which is literally my first and last name with a little dot.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. The other question I had is like, if someone is thinking about changing their life, you know, and losing weight and trying to, you know, just be more healthy, what advice would you give them if they're listening or watching this podcast? What would you
Yeah.
suggest to them?
Yeah. My biggest thing is be patient. Don't expect everything to happen the first month, because then you're going to get frustrated and you're going to quit, and you don't get closer by quitting, right? And then my second thing
Mm-hmm.
is focus on your nutrition, focus on your
Mm-hmm.
plates, right? Make it more colorful. I think a lot of people, when they think weight loss specifically, they think, okay, what do I need to cut out? Maybe we need to start thinking about in a different way. What do you need to add, right? Let's add more vegetables. Let's add more protein. Let's add more water. Let's add more steps. You get what I'm saying? I think people immediately go to,
Yeah.
okay, I need to cut out all these foods, and I can't eat this, and I can't. You can.
Mm-hmm.
Like, last night, I had a burger, fries, and I had carrot cake. You know what I mean? And it was
Mhm.
Right.
delicious, and I loved it.
Right.
And I had a Long Island iced tea, and it was perfect.
Right.
So stop thinking restriction and start thinking health and balance. I think is the biggest thing. Just make your plates more colorful and eat often. Me and my clients, we eat
Mm-hmm.
every
Mm-hmm.
2 to 3 hours. High protein. Yeah, more water. Just enjoy it. Just look at it like a self love. Like, put good
Yeah.
stuff in your body because you love yourself. I think
Yeah.
is the big thing.
Yeah, I think it's all moderation too. Like you said, I think we always think, oh, you have burger and fries, like that's terrible. Like eating healthy doesn't mean you're just eating vegetables. Like you can enjoy a burger
Yeah,
occasionally, but it's
crush
moderation.
it.
Like for me, like am I all right? If I'm gonna have this brownie, I just will have less of this later. Like I
Yeah.
mean, that's just I just kind of count balance. Like all right, if I know I'm gonna have like a big meal later, I'll just have lighter meals to not like fill
Mhm.
me up so much. It's all like moderation and just kind of understanding like your body, because I mean your body will change.
Yeah.
I've kind of learned that these last couple years, but it's just keeping it simple. In my experience, and seems like you're kind of breaking it down for your clients too to like better understand that. But yeah, I just love that because
Yeah.
again, people expect like 30 days. And maybe you get a lot of those clients too, where they're like, I haven't lost weight in 30 days, or the scale hasn't gone down,
Mhm.
or, and they just focus on that number,
Yeah.
which you're missing the point if you're just focusing on the scale. And that took a lot for me, because I think I talked about this in another episode, but like I grew up where I was always told like, I had to look a certain way, or if I wasn't this weight, I wasn't, I was fat, or this and
Mm.
that. And so that
Mhm.
messes with especially women. I think in
Oh yeah.
women of color specifically, like the Latin and Black communities of like, you know, uh dealing with like their health. You don't I didn't grow up eating healthy. I
Mhm.
grew up eating with tortillas and like beans and rice and
Sounds
like
good.
right? They tell you
Sounds
like, "Oh,
bomb.
you should lose weight. Oh, here's a whole plate of tamales." Like it's like, well,
Ooh.
if you're handing me that, but
Yeah.
it's a lot. It's like that stuff is like ingrained because we grew up through society, or maybe our parents who weren't knowledgeable, mention these things. So it kind of messes with your mentals,
Yeah.
in a way. And so you're carrying that until you
Yeah.
eventually you kind of wake up.
Yeah, I agree. And I can relate to that. I think the scale is a horrible message or indication of any type of result. It's horrible. No one should abide by it. It's literally just like how much you are connected to the earth, and that really means nothing.
Mm,
Like, for example,
Mm-hmm.
for me, I wake up maybe on a daily, maybe I'm like 175, right? 175 pounds and 5'5". Um, a lot of people would see that number and be like, oh my God, it's crazy, because body composition, that's what people really need to focus on.
right.
Your muscle
Mm-hmm.
mass to your
Absolutely.
body fat percentage. That's what you focus on, right? And obviously, if you have more muscle mass, you're going to weigh more. So the scale is a horrific indication, as well as BMI assessments. I mean,
Oh
they were
gosh.
created in a time where they don't take into account cultures. They're extremely Caucasian
Right.
measurements. You know what I mean? So
No,
Mm-hmm.
as
I've been
far
I've been
as
I've been obese since I was 5, like
yeah, I
according to
think I'm
BMI,
technically
Yeah.
right?
obese
Like
too. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
right.
I'm obese as well. Yeah, or,
Right.
or I'm definitely up there. I'm somewhere. You know what I
Right.
mean? But that's just because the BMI just has no. it's horrible measurements. You know, I think people should go by energy levels, your confidence, how you fit in your clothes, how do you feel. You know, that is assessment of goals. Non-scale victories are everything. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Man, that's so true too. And you know, I think we touched on this too, is the nutrition part. Like, how do you feel when people say like, you know, I'm trying to eat healthy, but it's getting expensive, right? Or, you know, I
Mhm.
can't afford to maybe go to these organic, you know, grocery stores or whatever, to actually, you know, change my diet or, you know, be more healthy. What would you say to that?
Yeah, I would say if you can't afford organic, you know, just eat fresh, you know, foods. Try and eat fresh foods. But also, I will say, and I'm quick to call people out on BS, you know,
Mm-hmm.
because sure, I get it. I grew up in a way where my family, we ate pots of pasta and spaghetti and,
Mm-hmm.
you know, dollar menu, and I get that. You know, the cost of that may be low, but also you're sacrificing your health, right?
Absolutely.
But I will say, like for me, I go grocery shopping maybe once every week and a half, and I spend maybe $120. You know what I mean? I think a lot of people spend that on coffee. You know, if someone goes to Starbucks every single day and gets a $10 coffee, you know, it's $300 a month in just coffee and just sugar
Mm-hmm.
and just caffeine. You know what I'm saying? So people spend money where they think it is important. Now, let's say someone is really down their luck and money is really, really tough. You know, I would just focus on getting lean protein sources. Try and just shoot for, you know, chicken, a bag of chicken if you can, right? Frozen breast cutlets or whatever. You know, frozen veggies, you know what I'm saying? Those are relatively inexpensive. If
Mhm.
you can go to like a Costco or a BJ's and get a huge bag of like rice
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
that'll last like a couple of months or whatever, you know what I'm saying? That's how you can get smarter. I think people, you know, make it too hard. You know, just make sure you
Mm-hmm.
have, you know, these essential things, these essential macronutrients in your diet, and it can be relatively inexpensive, you know. And then for snacks, maybe yogurts, you know,
Mm-hmm.
maybe granola, a bag of almonds, you know, just you pick and choose. It doesn't have to be crazy expensive,
That's
you
cool.
know.
That's good. I like
Yeah, I
that.
love Costco.
Yeah, me
Costco
Yeah,
is
too.
I go
a
to
great.
BJ's. It's
Oh,
lit.
I don't think we have a BJ's out here. Maybe it's a East
Okay.
Coast thing.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, we
I'm
have
all
Costco out
BJ's.
here
I'm all,
though.
that's a restaurant out here.
No,
Hmm.
it is a restaurant.
I'm all getting
That's
that
funny.
pizza pie. Or they have this cookie called Pizookie. It's like a
Ooh,
pan cookie with ice cream on top. So that used to be my go-to back in the day when
that sounds
I could just.
bomb.
I
It's
know
so
it
good.
does.
It's so
Yeah.
good. They
Even
have
in the
different
morning, it
cookies
sounds
too.
good.
You have cookies anytime. You know, they say
Facts.
with alcohol, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. It's someone's having a cookie somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
love it. So I see I see you doing some conferences and being a speaker. Do you have any events coming up where you're traveling to speak or?
Yes. So that's actually, I probably should have added that to my goals. That's actually my goal too. In the next 3 to 5 years, I'll just be like traveling around and helping people grow their businesses and giving speeches. That's actually my huge passion in life, is being a motivational speaker. I love pouring into
Mm,
people and just, you know, showing people that they can grow their potential to whatever they get it to. So within my business, something I also love is that we have monthly events. You know, so every single month we have an event. Every 3 months we have a larger event. So next month, right, in April, there's going to be a large event. I'm not sure. I don't think I'm speaking on that one.
mhm.
But it's always an honor to be able to speak among other great leaders and, you know, just give value to people. So yeah, I love it. Absolutely love it. Yeah.
What do you usually present or talk about? Is it just kind of like
Hmm.
motivational, or is it like your journey and like
Yeah. So
yeah?
it could be both. It's typically like they ask me to speak on a specific business topic, and I'll explain how I do it in my business.
Mm,
So the conferences are always with other entrepreneurs within Herbalife, right? So let's say I'm asked to speak on how to grow client base, right? I'll create a presentation or whatever it is, and I'll, you know, talk about how I'm able to do it, how my team and how we duplicate that, and how, we're able to expand our client base. Or maybe I'm talking about social media. People ask me to talk about Instagram often and how I grow a business on Instagram, and teach other people how to do that. So it might be that, but wherever they want me to fill in, it's always an honor. I'm always, stepping up to do it. And
I love it.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's awesome.
it's definitely a nice perk to have to, you get to pay to travel or at least like experience that and
Yeah,
speaking in front of hundreds of or even thousands in some cases. That's definitely one of my goals too, is to
Mm-hmm.
that's cool.
travel and speak about, whether it's real estate or whatever my experience, whatever my niche is. But
Yeah.
there's something about like motivating other people or just kind of sharing your story. Because
Mm-hmm.
again, you never know. Somebody can be in an exact, somebody similar to you can resonate with you and find your, whatever you're talking about, your content motivational and change their lives. So I
Mm-hmm.
love
Right,
that.
right. Yeah, we have so much impact as human beings. Yeah.
Totally.
That's
Cool.
awesome.
Well, we have about 5 minutes left or so. It's crazy. It's been
I
you've
know.
been
Time
dropping
flies.
gems for sure. Maybe something to think about. What you want to leave the audience with. I think you've shared so much insightful
Yeah.
information. But before you say that, just want to add a reminder, guys. Don't forget to subscribe to our
Mm-hmm.
channel. Um, we have in the show notes, I believe we have Taryn's IG. We also have our IG and our other information to reach us. So don't forget to subscribe, hit those reminders. Taryn, what do you want to leave
Yeah.
the
Oh
people
man,
with?
I should have been thinking about this.
No pressure,
Um,
no pressure.
Right.
uh,
Right.
I think what I want to leave with people is just, I really hope that people, whether it's fitness or whatever, just stop doubting yourself, and really just start doing. I think a lot of people stay in the in between of, I'm gonna get started, or I'm talking about it, or I'm planning on it, or I'm creating plans, or it's not the perfect moment. Like, just do it. Just go after it, and you're gonna figure it out, and you're going to make mistakes, and that's beautiful, and you're going to learn from those mistakes, and you're going to get better because of the mistakes. I think people are so
Mm-hmm.
scared of making mistakes, but they don't
Yeah.
understand it's actually like a valuable asset to success. You have to make mistakes in order to be successful, and you should look forward to making mistakes, and you should make them early and often, and have a mentor, and grow with that person, and just fall in love with the process. If you fall in love with the process more than you do the end result, you're going to be golden, because you're always going to be improving, always going to be growing, and you're going to have so much fun in your journey. So, um, yeah, just love on you and keep doing your thing. And yeah, I think that's what I'd probably leave people today.
Yeah, I love
That's
I
good.
love that. Yeah, because it's a consistent thing with in the industry that you're in. It's just
Yeah.
that applies to whatever you're doing, and
Hmm.
I love that advice too. So the other thing is that like I know you're big into Instagram, and so how if people want to get a hold of you, like how do they get a hold of you? With through
Yeah.
Instagram, DM, or what?
Yeah. So yeah, my DMs they're always open. I always answer them.
They're lit.
I answer them like twice a day, I think. But yeah, so
But set
Taryn TA.
boundaries, right?
Yeah, it's boundaries.
Right.
I mean, if you come crazy, I'm not gonna answer. So don't come crazy. But yeah, so it's literally my first name and my last name. So it's Taryn, dot, so a period, and then Durant. I'm very not creative, and also I like it. It's my name. It is it
It's
Hey,
is what it
cool.
is.
it's
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
brand,
So
right?
exactly, it is my brand. Yeah. So you can find me there. You can DM me there, and we can talk.
Love it. Yo, it's been so real. I appreciate you hopping on. Yeah, we may need to connect sidebar.
Mm.
Really have some ideas
Sure.
related to the LGBTQ plus communities.
Oh
I
my
love what
God.
you're doing
Yes.
there. Love to
Yeah,
Please.
connect on that. And I may need to travel out to the East Coast.
Let's
It's
there you
go.
calling
go.
me. It's
There
calling
you
me,
Let's
man.
go.
go. Please let me know whenever you're out here. We'll go out.
We'll
We'll get some
do.
lunch or dinner or something like that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
awesome. I love it.
We'll for sure veg out.
Yeah.
Not even worry about the health situation.
Yeah. I'll eat everything.
Cool. Well, yeah, Taryn, appreciate it, man. Guys, really appreciate you guys hopping on and posting your
Yep.
questions and comments. Don't forget to subscribe and to our channel. Hit those reminders. You can hit up Taryn on IG,
Yes.
Taryn.Durant. or
Yep.
at Taryn.Durant.
Yep.
But next week, we have a really exciting episode with another guest. So stay
Mm-hmm.
tuned. Get the Bag podcast. It's been real, y'all. Have a great
Yep.
day.
Have a great day.